We beat 3-0 Palace, and Bruno Fernandes and Rashford were not in the team. And that's the best performance I've seen for a long, long time. Since the Tottenham game that we beat them 2-0, that's the best performance I've seen from Manchester United as a team cohesive. And this is really, it's really obvious why we played well. You know, Bruno Fernandes and Rashford are stat padders. They think about themselves. Bruno gives the ball away. Rashford gives the ball away. What that does is demoralize the team. It demoralizes our build up, because football is about momentum, and Rashford and Bruno Fernandes constantly kill our momentum, constantly break down attacks, constantly moaning, constantly not trying. Rashford not running as hard as everyone else. You saw everyone in that game was working hard. You saw. It's just clearly, it's just so obvious. To me, it's been obvious for years. I've said this for years. I remember we played a game against Leipzig in the Champions League. I remember Bruno Fernandes and Rashford didn't play, but they came on in the second half, and Rashford scored a hat-trick in 10, 15 minutes, and Bruno had a couple of assists. I think maybe he scored, maybe. But we was winning 1-0 with a Greenwood goal in the game against Leipzig. And I was looking at that's the first time I realised that, and I said to myself, we play way better without them. I actually made a video and I didn't release it. And I was actually saying in the video, I promise you, I did not release it. But I was saying in the video before the game that these two are the issue. And if I was to make a team, I wouldn't have Bruno Fernandes in my team. I might keep Rashford in, but Bruno Fernandes I wouldn't have. And I'm double downing on that now, because Bruno Fernandes, number 10, if you look at Hannibal Mabry as a number 10 or Mason Mount, they play better without him, because number one, he doesn't come for the ball from the number 10 position. He's either trying to run in behind like a striker, yeah, or he is not actually trying to attack. So I don't understand how Bruno Fernandes is in the team. I don't understand how Ten Hag doesn't have the balls. The guy who dropped Ronaldo, the guy who showed leadership skills and bringing back the culture, can't drop a player who doesn't play the number 10 role properly. I don't know how no manager can actually see this. It's amazing that I think they're blinded to Bruno Fernandes. I think they're blinded to Bruno Fernandes, honestly. Amrabat has really shown that he is a high-level footballer. I've always said that we needed a register. We need someone who can maintain ball retention. This is the key for Manchester United. Someone who can have ball retention, someone who knows how to actually hold on to the ball. This is the most key for any team, really. Any CDM needs to be able to hold on to the ball. Casemiro can do it, as he's shown today, and Casemiro played well, but he needs someone else with there. That's what he's used to when he plays with Toni Kroos and Modric. He had two people there, and that's what was happening. Two people were holding on to the ball. Two people were controlling the game. He needs someone helping him hold on to the ball, controlling the game. And when he does that, I think he shines. And I think Amrabat is the perfect foil, because he's experienced, he's strong, he's quick, he's aggressive, and he's a great passer. He had a 97% pass rate. Bruno Fernandes should be embarrassed with himself. He should be absolutely embarrassed with himself. How dare he hold on to the ball that long, that good, should I say. Bruno Fernandes does 66, 75, giving the ball away as a captain, as a leader. I'm sorry, as Ten Hag, you need to really look at Manchester United and Bruno Fernandes and say to yourself, what type of team is this? What type of manager am I? What type of manager am I? Am I a good manager? Am I a bad manager? What manager am I? This is really the most important thing. And I think as Man United fans, we have to demand a lot better. We have to demand a higher win percentage, higher work ethic, a higher standard of football from Ten Hag. And this means being ruthless, not having favourites. Yeah, he didn't bring on Rashford or Bruno. And the game, we just played so nicely. It was so good to enjoy football. It was so good to watch Manchester United and just enjoy a game of football instead of being stressed and struggling. Like, Palestri has more IQ than Rashford. Garnacho has more, like, I'm not sure about Garnacho, but, you know, Hannibal shows more intelligence. And what helps our play is that the number 10 isn't trying to be a striker and just think about goals. The number 10 is coming short. And even when Van der Beek came on, the number 10 came short, held onto the ball, tried to lay it off. He's in the right positions, so therefore he's not emptying the midfield, so we don't have to keep playing it wide and wide and wide. He's there, he's getting involved on the left-hand side, on the right-hand side. He's maintaining his position, unlike Bruno Fernandes, who doesn't maintain his position. And it just makes the team flow better. Ten Hag talks about, it's about a team, it's about the team, it's about the team. But what's ruining the team is Bruno Fernandes and Rashford, but more so Bruno Fernandes, in my opinion, more so. And I've always said this, you can't have a Man United team with, you only can afford one of the four, like, detriments in our squad. Maguire, McTominay, Rashford, and Bruno. Now, only one played today. And to be honest, Maguire even seemed more comfortable without Bruno and Rashford there. I think all the players seem more comfortable without Bruno and Rashford in the team. They just seem more happy. They just knew that basically they're going to play a normal game of football instead of Bruno spamming balls and Rashford trying to just dribble and shoot instead of doing the right thing. I think all the players were very happy today. Honestly, I think they all were. It's amazing. It's amazing how what team spirit can really do and really can produce. And I know it's only Crystal Palace, and I know it's not their best team, but you know what? These are young players. Amrabat, who hasn't had a game, Mount, who was unfit, you know, Hannibal, Garnacho, Palestri. These are young players who showed more education on the ball than Bruno Fernandes, our captain. I think Bruno Fernandes should be embarrassed by Amrabat's performance. I think it's just an embarrassing display. Really embarrassing. It's crazy. Anyway, this is Tactical Red. We won. Let's see what Ten Hag does in the next game against Crystal Palace. Let's see the performance in the next game. If Bruno Fernandes and Rashford will come back in, which I highly suspect they will. Let's see what happens. Let's see that next performance, because if it's completely different, then we know. Then we know what the problem is. We can see clearly what the problem is if the performance is different. Have a great day.